how'd I do? We'll check. The beloved comedy Mrs. Doubtfire is on stage now at Broadway in Cincinnati.
Pretty good, Bob, pretty good. The show opened last night at the Aronoff Center. I'm hearing great things from people. And this morning, we are joined by the star of the show, Tony-nominated actor Rob McClure, joins us in studio. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Oh my gosh, so nice to
How
have you.
bad was that?
No, it was great. It was great. Come on.
Go ahead, because I know we're both about ready to ask the exact same question.
I know. Well, first of all, what is it like originating this role for this tour and going out? Because we were just saying, we grew up with the movie.
Of course.
And so it's got to be a little intimidating to take on a role like this.
It's the best kind of terrifying, right?
That's a good way to
They call and they say, like, do you want to play Mrs. Doubtfire on Broadway? And you go, yes, but I have Robin Williams burned into my eyes. I mean, I could close my eyes and watch that movie on my eyelids. I know every frame of that movie. But that movie, people forget that the thing that movie did then was that it was the first movie for the kids of divorced households that wasn't, the happy ending wasn't The Parent Trap. It wasn't getting the parents back together. It was the first sort of mainstream movie that said to those kids, hey, actually the happy ending is going to be you finding a way to redefine family as opposed to scheme to get your parents back together. And the musical has now expanded on that 20 years later, 30 years later, wow.
Which, don't even say that out loud again, because it does nothing but hurt me.
But it's really, they found a way to make that story sing and make it particularly relevant now.
Speaking of making it sing, let's get into that part a little bit of it. So you take a show, a movie that everybody knows so well, and let's put some music in there. What can folks expect from the musical part of the musical?
Yeah, I mean, I think anyone who is trying to adapt a beloved movie, where that can go wrong is if you don't find a good reason for that story to sing. I think a good adaptation finds a good reason for those characters to sing, and if they don't have one, it's not a great musical. But Mrs. Doubtfire, what our writing team, the Kirkpatrick brothers and John O'Farrell, what they have tapped into is what's going on for those kids. And I think the musical vocabulary of the show sprung out of the oldest daughter, I don't know if you remember in the film, Lydia, and what's going on for her and the sort of musical language.
It's really hard for her in the movie.
Well, she is sort of becoming the surrogate parent to those two kids amidst this messy divorce. So she had a lot to sing and a lot of heart and real songs to be sung from that character. And then the musical language from the show exploded from there. And as you saw in the clip, there's the famous scene where Mrs. Doubtfire has no idea how to cook, has been turned into a gigantic tap dance number, and I still light myself on fire.
Oh my gosh, I was just going to say, just watching the clip, it looks like such a physical, demanding show too. And quickly, I want to mention to people who may not know this, you also star opposite your real life wife.
Yes.
On this tour. How cool is that?
Yeah, we've been joking that we get divorced 8 times a week.
If you can make it through that, you can make it through anything.
No, it's great. She's amazing in it. She's
cool.
We actually toured through Cincinnati back in 2018 with the Something Rotten tour.
Oh, neat.
So it's good to be back.
That's so wonderful.
Can't let you go without talking about the makeup a little bit too, because what's a process like? I imagine pretty quick scene changes, and to go from that to that to that to that, that's got to be kind of tough.
That's the one cool thing I think we do have on the movie, is that when Robin Williams runs into the restroom and comes back 18 seconds later as Mrs. Doubtfire, we all know that they're yelling cut and he's going into a trailer for 5 hours, right? When I have 18 seconds, I have 18 seconds to do head to toe, and we do 31 quick changes a show. The longest I have to transform from what you see into Mrs. Doubtfire is 90 seconds, and the shortest is 18 seconds.
18 seconds.
And we have a team of 4 that we call Team Euphigenia, Team Effie, who are like our Indianapolis 500 pit crew, who make it happen.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible.
It's cool. The audience sweats with me.
Right.
They know, they like, oh my gosh, they're coming, and the fact that it's real is actually what the theater magic is. It's not magic at all. It's that it's actually happening.
Right in front of you. And we know it happened in front of a lot of our colleagues, and they just raved about it, as Jen was saying at the top. So thanks for taking time, especially after a show last night, to be back here in the morning. Really, really cool. We appreciate it.
Thanks
for
having
rest.
me. Thank you.
And let's see, it's running until December 17th, so make sure you get those tickets, and we've got a link at local12.com.
You can always find our stories here on YouTube, but go ahead and click subscribe to get notifications and stay in the know.